Now, I know what you're thinking. End of the year tag, Andrew, it's September, but one of the prompts is to do with an autumnal book, so we're doing it in September. Listen, I don't want to think about it being the end of the year either, but that's the season we're moving into. So let's talk about the books. The end of the year tag is 6 different questions based on what books you want to read before the end of the year, what kind of plans you have going into next year. So we're just going to talk about some books. A real change from the normal type of video where I also talk about the books. The first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Yes, quite a lot. First up, Wind and Truth. I'm slowly chipping away. I've not really read or listened to the audiobook for any of it recently. Sun Eater has stolen my interest, so I've not really been working through any more of Wind and Truth. I'm still enjoying it. I know it's kind of a mixed reception with the book, but still listening to it. I do want to finish it for the end of the year. Also, as of the time of filming this, I am reading The Dance of Shadows. It might be done by the time this video is out, but currently I'm reading this and really enjoying it. I will be doing a whole reading vlog that includes this book, so you will get my full thoughts, but this is definitely one I want to finish. Really enjoying the start. How stunning is that cover? This was highly recommended to me by a lot of people over on the Discord, so we did a monthly read along for it in August. Yes, August. But so far, really enjoying it. I really like the main character. I like that he's a musician. I find that really cool. I'm also currently reading The Blackfire Blade, the sequel to The Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. I loved Silver Blood Promise, and this is shaping up to be even better. So yeah, I'm definitely going to finish this before the end of the year and get my full thoughts out. This comes out in November, and oh boy, if you haven't read The Silver Blood Promise, read it and then pick up this, because it's really good. As is Silver Blood Promise. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? See? That's why we're doing this now. I kind of have 2 main ones. The first one is Toothsucker by Caden Love. This is a cyberpunk book with teeth-eating vampires. Hell yeah. This is one of the most unique kind of autumnal reads I could think of, and I really want to read it. I am friends with Caden. He's awesome, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Also, I would love to, if I have time, read the chunky boy that is Empire of the Damned. Empire of the Vampire, one of my favorite books of all time, and I really want to read this so I can get into the 3rd book, Empire of the Dawn, at the end of the year when it releases in November, because this series is so damn good. If you haven't read Empire of the Vampire yet, highly recommend checking it out. And last but not least, I do want to read a horror book of some kind, a spooky one, and I'm trying to decide if I should read The Exorcist, Something This Way Comes, or maybe a Stephen King book. Kind of torn between those 3. So we'll see. I might do a poll over on Patreon or Discord or something to see which one I'll do a horror-themed reading vlog for, but I like to have at least one horror-esque book for the fall season. Third question is there a new release you're still waiting for? Technically, I'm not waiting because I'm currently reading Blackfire Blade, but it is one of my most anticipated books that's coming out towards the end of the year. So, very excited for this one to come out. I am looking forward to the very pretty Broken Binding edition, because this is what they did with book 1. So, I'll definitely be grabbing book 2 because I'm loving it that much. Also, of course, Empire of the Dawn, the 3rd book in the Empire of the Vampire trilogy. Hoping to read the 2nd one and then move on to the 3rd one. Just kind of read them back to back. Very excited. Love the books. What else is coming out? Does this have to be a new release? Yeah, new release. I am looking forward to the final Sun Eater book. We've been reading the Sun Eater books over on the Discord. We are currently on book 5. And I don't think we'll get to the final book until technically December. I think it releases in November. But as soon as that comes out, I'm kind of sad because I'm having such a good time with Sun Eater. The idea that there's going to be no more books is really sad. However, I know Christopher Rocchio is also working on a fantasy book that's releasing next year, and I'm super excited for that because that man can write. That man can really write. And I do want to see what happens with Shadows Upon Time and see where this series ends, because say one thing about the Sun Eater series, it's so meticulously plotted. There's so many small details that are picked up in later books that are connected to it and so purposefully done that I'm very excited to see how he kind of weaves this all together with the final book. Question number 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? So we've been over a couple already, but one's on top of that. I really want to read, of course, Ashes of Man and Disquiet Gods. Very excited to get up to that final book at the Sun Eater series. Another one is, of course, Assassin's Quest. First 2 books, some of my favorite books of all time. I've just been putting off that 3rd book because it is massive. Again, love Robin Hobb, love her writing style, love the characters, love the world, and I do really want to see how the trilogy ends, especially because I want to push into live ships next year. Is there a book that you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Oh yeah, 100%. There are so many books I am so excited for that I think have potential to become one of my favorite books of the year. I think so far is a pretty rough competition. I think my favorite so far might be A Drop of Corruption. I loved this book so much. It was so much fun. So it's a hard bar to beat. But potentially I could see one of the Sun Eater books. They're already kind of sitting on the cusp of being first place because I loved Demon in White and Kingdoms of Death so much that I could definitely see Ashes of Man, Disquiet Gods, or Shadows Upon Time winning that first place slot. That's 100% plausible. Also, having a blast with Blackfire Blade definitely could, blow out the water with the ending. Potentially. And J. Kristoff with Empire of the Damned or Empire of the Dawn. J. Kristoff is just one of those writers that just really works with me. I love his sense of humor. I love his plotting and prose style, especially in this series. I did like his prose style in Nevernight, but I feel like this one is just closer to my personal taste. So definitely potential to become my favorite book of the year with both books 2 and 3. Either of them could take that slot. Have you already started making reading plans for the next year? So yes and no. I kind of have books that I'm probably going to try and read next year. The plan this year was Sun Eater, so I'm hopefully going to finish that kind of December, perhaps into January, depends what the book club pick for December is. But yeah, I'm looking for something big and epic to start next year. And I'm thinking it'll probably be Malazan Book of the Fallen. I think that's going to be my big series attempt for 2026. However, I don't think we're going to do this over on the Discord as the official read-along. We might do it as an unofficial side thing so people can dip in and out. The problem, from what I've heard with Malazan, is that you have to be in the right mindset to read it. You need to be in the mood to read Malazan. So kind of setting it up as this bi-monthly read-along might be hard to keep up for some people, or for some people just to not be in the mood for continuing it. And I know some people have already read part of the series, so it'll be dipping in and out. So I don't think we're going to do it over on the Discord as the main read. However, my plan is to definitely start Malazan next year. I don't know how far I'm going to get through it, but that's kind of the next big series that I want to dive into with 2026. And of course, there will also still be monthly book club read-alongs over on the Discord for 2026. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to just monthly voting, but perhaps I might add a trilogy or something. So maybe at the start of the year, we'll pick a trilogy or a 4-book series. Something just fairly condensed and something that people can dip in and out of and make that like a bi-monthly thing. So even something like Dandelion Dynasty or maybe the Lycanius trilogy. I'll probably do a poll over on Patreon and let them kind of pick which series they want to do as the trilogy, and then the other ones will just be monthly read-alongs. That being said, I am also tempted to maybe do prompts. I think it could be quite fun if I set up these prompts and then have Patreons kind of pick which books they want to put into those polls. So say we have a self-pub month, or we have a sequel month to a book that we've perhaps already read being in the book club. Or maybe for October, a spooky book. Or maybe even a prompt for a new release. So I'm still on the fence. I'm thinking about it. I do want to kind of crowdsource what everybody wants to do for the book club. I don't want to just make a decision, say, this is what we're doing, but that's currently what I'm thinking. Probably not going to be Malazan, but I will be reading Malazan as kind of my main big read of 2026. And I'll probably set up channels so people can join in if they so want to over on the Discord for Malazan. But I don't want to overcommit next year because I have some really exciting writing plans that I'm not going to share just yet. But oh boy, 2026 is going to be a hell of a year. But let me know down in the comments below if you have any autumnal reads that you're going to be reading over the September, October months. What you're reading for those spooky autumnal times. Thank you very much for watching. Now I know what you're thinking. And